Here it comes.
It almost feels like a game you can't win for most working parents in Asheville. Trying to find childcare while trying desperately to stay ahead in your career.
I knew being a parent would be hard, but I feel like this part should be easier.
After her second son was born, Rachel Shelton simply couldn't keep juggling both.
So you ultimately had to quit your job because of the childcare issue.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How hard was that?
It was really sad, and because I loved my work and I thought I was good at it.
After staying home for years, her own struggle has now led to a new career.
I just felt as a parent that it was broken and so unfair, and so I started trying to understand the policy and why is it this way. So now I work for the Western North Carolina Early Childhood Coalition.
It's a group focused on bringing a permanent solution to the current childcare crisis in the mountains.
We can't afford to lose any childcare slots, and what we really need is robust public investments.
Since COVID, federal funding has brought $300 million to centers all across the state each year.
And Riley, go to pink.
Funds for teacher raises and bonuses, which have kept places like Evolve Early Learning stay afloat.
Jello in the bowl, Jello in the bowl.
But it's money that will disappear on June 30th.
This is the closest we've gotten to the childcare cliff, and I really do see a cliff in front of us. If that money runs out, a center like ours, we don't have another avenue for that amount of revenue.
A recent statewide survey found that nearly 90% of centers will be forced to raise parent rates, while many others will be cutting classes, programs, or hours.
If we imagine that, up to 70% of centers close the classroom or close altogether, we're going to be looking at no place for hundreds and hundreds, thousands of children.
The survey also found that nearly a third of centers statewide will be forced to close their doors if the funding isn't replaced.
Do you think there will be facilities in Western North Carolina that will have to shut down completely because of this funding loss?
I think so. Yeah, it's hard to really predict. What we can look at is the statewide survey that said 29% we're looking at closures.
If this happens and we lose even more spots, how big of an impact could that have?
It's hard to quantify. I think we will see more parents, especially with very young children, leave the workforce.
How hard is that to hear that this is the state of our system right now as this funding runs out?
Well, it makes us all incredibly concerned, and we have been waving the flag on this for some time. Tragically, I'm sad that we've had to get it to it so bad before we act.
Cody Kinsley with the State Department of Health and Human Services says this comes after nearly 300 child care centers closed last year alone in North Carolina.
So it's not that we're looking over the edge of the cliff, we're already on our way over.
Which is why the governor has proposed $745 million for child care and early education. Funds to increase subsidy rates, teacher pay, and workforce recruitment.
That's why in this moment, it's really two factors. One, we need the North Carolina General Assembly to invest $745 million to stabilize childcare across the state. And two, we need to figure out long-term strategies with the federal government to make sure that childcare gets more investment as well.
How low can you go?
But with just weeks to go and no guarantee on the budget,
It does seem like our government officials and our maybe local businesses don't realize the risk that we're all taking and letting this money fall away.
parents are left panicked as the clock runs out.
It really is necessary funding at this point. We can't afford to let our childcare system fail.
Karen Zatkalak, News 13.